Okay guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time of being here, kindly do me a favor by subscribing to the channel and becoming part of the family. On this channel we talk about everything about Africa as a whole. I guess the problem of Africa can be discussed by Africans. We will still be the ones to make Africa better and great. Okay, on this video we are looking at the numbers of assassination attempts this young man, Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, has had over the last 2 years. He took over as the transitional president of Burkina Faso, and we also explore the negative impacts this attempt has made against those that threaten to assassinate him, especially the West. Well, we are not saying someone is trying to assassinate him, but we are saying the negative impacts of Ibrahim against the West, especially France to be precisely. So just stay tuned and watch this video to the end.
Why is a 35-year-old African leader becoming a global icon while Paris burns with jealousy? This happens when a colonial empire meets an unyielding leader. And you won't believe, but France tried and failed to eliminate President Ibrahim Traore a staggering 18 times. Burkina Faso, led by its fearless young president, has dared to challenge centuries of French dominance, and the consequences are shaking the world. In October 2022, Ibrahim Traore became the youngest leader in Africa at just 35 years old. His rise wasn't marked by political privilege or wealth, but by a groundswell of public support. Traore was a captain in the military, a man who understood the struggles of his people because he lived them himself. His ascent came during a time of deep crisis. Insurgency was rampant, poverty was suffocating, and the people had lost faith in their leaders. What made Traore's rise so extraordinary wasn't just his age, it was his unyielding determination to confront Burkina Faso's challenges head-on. Unlike the politicians who came before him, Traore didn't make empty promises. Instead, he offered a vision of sovereignty, of a Burkina Faso that could stand on its own 2 feet.
There are many things to do. There are challenges awaiting you. Don't focus on your age. Don't just see that ambition may not be as high as you imagine, but you must aim very far.
But Traore didn't stop at words. From the moment he took office, he began dismantling the systems of exploitation that had kept his country in the shadow of its former colonizer, France. His speeches, often raw and unpolished, resonated deeply with the people because they were authentic. Traore wasn't just a leader, he was one of them. A man who understood the pain of seeing his nation's wealth benefit others while his people suffered.
When the last soldiers left Burkina Faso, we understood. What was it about? The impacts immediately followed. But what she had forgotten, it's that the people of Burkina Faso had understood our message and had committed themselves to the same path as the world. We quickly and suddenly reorganized ourselves. We noticed that all dormant terrorist cells woke up in Burkina Faso. We reorganized the army as quickly as possible, at an unprecedented speed. We created several units, and even if several others are to come, we equipped them. And today, this equipping continues, because in the coming days, in the coming months, what you will see coming to Burkina Faso must make our army a power to be feared.
Yet, his rise wasn't welcomed by everyone. Traore's bold actions quickly drew the ire of France, a nation that had long profited from Burkina Faso's resources. But what exactly made Traore such a threat to Paris? To understand France's animosity toward Traore, you need to look beneath the surface. Literally, Burkina Faso is one of the largest gold producers in Africa, and for decades, Much of that wealth flowed to France. Through lopsided trade agreements and corporate deals, French companies controlled the gold mines, extracting immense profits while leaving little for the people of Burkina Faso.
Questo è un bambino che lavora in una miniera d'oro in Burkina Faso. Il Burkina Faso è una delle nazioni più povere del mondo. Per il Burkina Faso, che ha l'oro, la Francia stampa moneta coloniale. In cambio pretende che finiscano nelle casse del tesoro francese il 50% di tutto quello che il Burkina Faso esporta. L'oro che questo bambino si infila in un cunicolo per tirare fuori finisce per lo più nelle casse dello Stato francese. Allora la soluzione non è prendere gli africani e spostarli in Europa, la soluzione è liberare l'Africa da certi europei che la sfruttano e consentire a queste persone di vivere di quello che hanno.
Here's a reminder to please like and share the video, and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. Traoré didn't just disrupt this arrangement, he shattered it. By nationalizing key industries and prioritizing local ownership, he cut off one of France's major sources of income. But Traoré's resistance goes beyond economics. France's relationship with its former colonies isn't just financial, it's deeply symbolic. For centuries, France maintained its influence in Africa through a combination of military presence, cultural dominance, and political interference. Traoré's actions challenge all of that. By expelling French troops and shutting down French businesses, he's sending a clear message. Burkina Faso doesn't need its former colonizer. This defiance is what makes him such a threat to France. It's not just about losing access to gold, it's about losing control over a narrative that has kept Africa dependent on the West. But Traoré's fight isn't just against France. It's a fight for his people, and it's a fight that requires bold, unprecedented action.
Shifting focus to Burkina Faso in West Africa. The country's military leader, Ibrahim Traore, has leveled strong accusations against France. Traore says France is destabilizing Burkina Faso with support from West African nations Benin and Ivory Coast. Traore said that France has set up 2 secret military bases in Benin that are directed against Burkina Faso. He claimed that these bases are a center of operations for the terrorists who regularly strike Burkina Faso. Now, French military has reacted by denying the accusations. The military refused the existence of military bases in Benin. West African states, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are transitioning to military coups, have turned away from the traditional Western allies. Meanwhile, the military-ruled nations have built closer ties with Russia.
How has Burkina Faso, a nation with limited resources, managed to stand up to such a powerful adversary? When Traoré took office, he wasted no time making his intentions clear. One of his first acts as president was to expel French military bases from Burkina Faso. This wasn't just a symbolic move, it was a strategic one. For years, French troops had operated in the region under the pretext of fighting insurgency. However, many in Burkina Faso believed that these bases were more about maintaining French influence than providing security. Traoré's decision to remove these bases was met with widespread support from the public. It wasn't just an act of defiance, it was a reclaiming of sovereignty. But Traoré didn't stop there. He turned his attention to French businesses, many of which had operated in Burkina Faso with little regard for local labor rights or environmental impact. By pushing these companies out, Traoré began the process of reclaiming his nation's economy. Perhaps his most radical move, however, was cultural. Traoré declared that French would no longer be an official language of Burkina Faso. Instead, he prioritized indigenous languages, signaling a break from the colonial legacy that had long overshadowed the nation's identity. These actions weren't without consequences. France responded with economic pressure and diplomatic isolation. But Traoré's boldness inspired his people, uniting them in a way that few leaders have managed before. This unity, however, came at a cost. Traoré's defiance made him a target, not just politically, but physically. 18 assassination attempts. Let that number sink in. It's not just a statistic. It's a chilling reminder of the stakes Traoré is facing and the lengths his adversaries are willing to go. Each attempt is a testament to the fear he's instilled in those who have long exploited Burkina Faso. A fear not just of the man, but of the movement he represents. The sheer number of these attempts is staggering. This isn't a leader dodging a stray attack here and there. It's a systematic effort to erase him. But why so many? Traoré's defiance isn't just an inconvenience to the powers that be. It's an existential threat to a global system built on inequality. His leadership symbolizes the possibility of change, and that terrifies those who have benefited from the status quo for generations. Every failed attempt on Traoré's life is more than a personal triumph. It's a symbolic victory. Each time he survives, the message to the world is clear. Burkina Faso will not be silenced, no matter the cost. This defiance emboldens not only Traoré, but also the people of Burkina Faso, who see his resilience as a reflection of their strength and determination. The threats against him aren't isolated incidents. They come from all sides. Foreign powers looking to maintain control, internal dissidents afraid of losing influence, and even rogue elements within their own country, seeking chaos to serve their agendas.
As a young man, I cannot be at the top of the state and maybe want to find myself under mangroves eating rusumbala like the others. That is to say, to accept to forget your youth, to accept to forget your life, and to devote yourself entirely to your country. One of the risks is this situation that we are living, destabilization. Because if you want to straighten the boat in such a country, inevitably you have to survive. And by surviving to straighten the boat, you create internal and external enemies. So we have to face this situation of destabilization, of murder, and of everything.
These attacks are not haphazard. They are calculated and coordinated, relentless in their frequency, and ruthless in their intent. Yet Traoré refuses to back down. His response to these attempts isn't one of fear or retreat. It's a deepened resolve to fight harder. For Traoré, survival is only part of the battle. He isn't just focused on protecting himself, he's focused on securing a future for his country that transcends his lifetime. Every plot against him becomes fuel for his mission, strengthening his commitment to a vision that will outlast him. It's this unwavering focus that makes Traoré unique. While many leaders under such immense pressure might turn inward, focusing solely on self-preservation, Traoré has kept his sights on the bigger picture, building a legacy of sovereignty, unity, and progress for Burkina Faso. This is where projects like the Renaissance City come into play, not as a distraction from the threats he faces, but as a testament to his belief that true leadership is about creation, not just survival. Traoré's survival is remarkable, but his ability to thrive in the face of constant danger is what truly sets him apart. His resilience isn't just inspiring, it's revolutionary, sending a powerful message to both his supporters and his enemies. No matter the odds, Burkina Faso's fight for independence cannot be stopped. Now let's talk about the Renaissance City and why it matters. Imagine a city built not as a monument to foreign aid, but as a defiant answer to centuries of exploitation. That's the Renaissance City, a sprawling urban center designed not just to showcase Burkina Faso's potential, but to send a message. Ibrahim Traoré isn't backing down. Every blueprint, every brick, and every inch of road in the Renaissance City is a direct response to France's relentless attempts to undermine Traoré's leadership. Traoré counters with bold, tangible progress for every assassination plot, economic threat, and attempt to destabilize Burkina Faso. The Renaissance City isn't just a city, it's a declaration of resilience, a living testament to the nation's refusal to be silenced or controlled. This isn't just about infrastructure, it's about rewriting the story. For too long, the narrative has been that Africa's progress depends on Western intervention. Traoré is shattering that illusion. The Renaissance City embodies a break from the dependency model, proving that Burkina Faso and Africa can succeed on its terms. Every building that rises, every industry that flourishes within this city is a symbol of independence and ingenuity. Traoré envisions the Renaissance City as more than just a place. It's a hub for innovation, culture, and sustainability, a beacon of what an African nation can achieve when it puts its people first. Local talent is at the heart of this project. with resources and skills being channeled into building industries that benefit the population, not foreign investors. What makes this project even more remarkable is its timing. While France is reeling from its loss of influence, Traoré is building. While France scrambles to recover from the blow of losing its grip on Burkina Faso, the Renaissance city rises as a symbol of defiance and progress. The contrast couldn't be clearer. One is crumbling under the weight of its colonial past, while the other is forging a bold, self-reliant future. The Renaissance city isn't just a project, it's an answer. It's Traoré's way of proving that no matter how many threats or attempts are made against him, Burkina Faso's vision for independence will not falter. It's a promise to his people and a challenge to the world. Burkina Faso will not just survive, it will thrive, and it will do so on its terms. So after all these attempts and Traoré's resilience, what happens with France? France's colonial past wasn't just a chapter in its history books. It was the foundation of its modern economy. The riches extracted from Africa built the infrastructure of Paris, fueled French industry, and bolstered its global standing. Burkina Faso's recent rebellion is more than an isolated event. It's the unraveling of a colonial strategy that Europe has relied on for centuries. Think of France's economy as a Jenga tower. Every African nation that decides to reclaim its resources pulls out another block. When Burkina Faso said no more, it wasn't just gold mines France lost. It was a cornerstone of its influence in West Africa. The impact of this loss has been profound. French companies that once dominated African markets are scrambling to find alternatives. Paris's carefully curated image as a partner to Africa is disintegrating. And the financial losses? Staggering. France is dealing with the immediate economic fallout and the ripple effects on European stability, as its declining influence in Africa sends shockwaves through international markets. But Burkina Faso's defiance isn't just hurting France economically, it's challenging its global identity. France built its post-colonial image as a protector and ally of Africa, but that facade is crumbling, exposing the exploitation beneath. And while France stumbles, Traoré is steering Burkina Faso toward a future of independence and innovation. While France flounders, Burkina Faso is thriving under Traoré's leadership, thanks to a revolutionary approach to governance and development. Traoré's model is simple: build from within. His first move was to establish a state-owned bank, a bold step that sent a clear message: Burkina Faso will no longer rely on international financial institutions with strings attached. This bank is more than a place for deposits. It's a tool for empowerment. It funds local businesses, supports agricultural initiatives, and invests in renewable energy projects tailored to Burkina Faso's unique needs. Agriculture, once overlooked in favor of exporting raw materials, has become a priority under Traoré's leadership. Farmers are being equipped with modern tools and training, allowing them to produce higher yields and feed more of the population. This shift not only reduces reliance on imported goods, but also creates jobs and strengthens the local economy. Renewable energy is another cornerstone of Burkina Faso's new path. Traoré recognizes the potential of solar power in a country blessed with abundant sunlight. By investing in solar farms and small-scale renewable projects, Burkina Faso is working toward energy independence, a key factor in breaking free from foreign control. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Traoré's leadership is his focus on education and innovation. Traoré knows that a self-reliant Burkina Faso needs a generation of thinkers, creators, and leaders who can sustain the progress he started. Through scholarships, vocational training programs, and investments in technology, he's planting the seeds for a brighter future. The world is watching, and Burkina Faso's approach is already inspiring other African nations to rethink their reliance on the West. But how far-reaching is this influence? Burkina Faso's defiance under Ibrahim Traoré isn't just a national story, it's a continental awakening. Across Africa, leaders and citizens alike are looking to Burkina Faso as a blueprint for what's possible when a nation prioritizes its people over foreign interests. Take Mali, for instance, which has recently followed Burkina Faso's lead in expelling French troops, or Guinea, which is revisiting its trade agreements to ensure more equitable resource distribution. Traoré's actions have sparked a domino effect, pushing other nations to ask hard questions about their relationships with the West. This isn't just a political shift, it's a cultural one. African nations are increasingly embracing their identities, languages, and traditions, shedding the remnants of colonial influence. The rise of Pan-Africanism, a movement that emphasizes unity and self-reliance across the continent, is gaining momentum, and Burkina Faso is at its heart. But this isn't an easy road. The same forces that oppose Burkina Faso are working to suppress similar movements across Africa. Economic sanctions, media campaigns, and covert operations are just some of the tactics being used to maintain control. Yet, the growing solidarity among African nations suggests that this time, the tide may be turning. As more countries rally behind the idea of an Africa united in sovereignty and purpose, the question arises: how can this momentum be sustained? And how can leaders like Traoré stay safe in such a volatile climate? Every revolution comes with risks, and Traoré's is no exception. His bold actions have made him a target, not just for foreign powers, but for internal forces threatened by change. Burkina Faso's fight for independence has drawn global attention, and with that attention comes danger. The assassination attempts Traoré has survived are a stark reminder of the stakes, but beyond the physical threats lies a more insidious danger: the risk of betrayal from within. Historically, many African leaders who attempted to challenge the status quo were undermined not by external forces, but by internal divisions. Traoré's greatest strength and his greatest vulnerability is his connection to the people. While this grassroots support has been his shield, it also places him in constant danger. He moves carefully, relying on a trusted inner circle and a growing network of allies across Africa. But the risks aren't just personal. Burkina Faso itself is under constant threat of economic retaliation, diplomatic isolation, and even military intervention. Traoré's leadership will be tested not only by his ability to survive, but also by his ability to protect his nation from these external pressures. Yet for every threat Traoré faces, he gains new supporters. His resilience is inspiring a generation of Africans to believe in a future free from exploitation. And while his journey is far from over, it's clear that Burkina Faso is leading the charge into a new era. Burkina Faso's story under Ibrahim Traoré is about more than one nation's fight for independence. It's about the start of something much larger. Across the continent, nations are beginning to recognize their collective strength and the power of unity. The decline of Western influence in Africa isn't just a political shift, it's a rewriting of history. For centuries, Africa was seen as a resource to be exploited. Now it's emerging as a force to be reckoned with. A continent filled with potential, creativity, and resilience. Traoré's leadership symbolizes this transformation. His actions have shown that it's possible to challenge the world's most powerful nations and succeed. But he's also laid the groundwork for what comes next: an Africa that is self-reliant, united, and unapologetically proud. As Burkina Faso continues to build its future, the rest of Africa watches with anticipation. The question isn't whether Africa can rise, it's how far it will go. And as Traoré leads the way, one thing is clear: this is just the beginning. Do you think assassination attempts can stop Traoré? What will happen when France fails? Let us know in the comments section. Should they stop poking their nose already? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
So that was a very beautiful video, and I guess you really enjoy that video as much as I do. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Okay, from the video we saw the numbers of assassination attempts this young man has taken since becoming the president of Burkina Faso. It's such a sad thing to say, I must say, such a sad thing to say. That anyone who tries to challenge the status quo, anyone who tries to stop the Western control, the Western influence, or change the narrative, ended up facing threats and assassination attempt, if not even being killed. Some of the African leaders who started some of this revolution in Africa. Some of them died. One of them is Thomas Sankara. That is one of the presidents that's so bold to speak, so bold to challenge anyone. So on his tenure, during his tenure, he made so many policies. He stopped borrowing of money from IMF. Yeah, IMF. As you know, IMF is an organization that lends money. Yeah, you want a loan, you want money, they have so much money to give, believe me. But one thing about loan, or one thing about borrowing, is whoever does loan something to you, or whoever does borrows money to you, automatically has control over you. This is one of the secrets, or should I say, this is one of the techniques, this is one of the tricks these people use in capturing Africa, especially those colonizers, those people that colonize most of these African countries. These are their techniques, their tricks. They will be like, come, we have loans to give you. You are facing economical problem challenges, you need loan, come, we definitely give you loan. But when they give you this loan, they tend to control your lives, they tend to control your country, they tend to control your military, they tend to control all the affairs in your country, thereby making you not entirely free. You say you gain freedom, but you are not entirely free. I mean, politically, you are not even free, because these people still detect what happens in your country politics. Economically, you are still not free, because these people are still the ones in charge of supplying food. Come to Africa. Most of the things we eat here in Africa are being imported. Yeah, most of the things we eat in Africa are being imported. That is one of the reasons why, as one of the presidential candidates in the 2023 general election of Nigeria, known as Peter Obi, stated that when being elected, he gonna make Nigeria a production country. He gonna move Nigeria from consumption to production. What does he mean? He actually meant that when being elected, he gonna stop much of importation of goods or other things and start producing them in our country. Africa, Nigeria and Africa as a whole, we are solely depending on imported things, thereby making us not free. You see, when you depend on importation, when you depend on imported things, it means you are not economically free, because you still depends on these people to eat. Chocolate, everything you eat, food, whatever you eat, you still depends on these people. That makes you not economically free. You are dying of hunger. These people, you are still the ones you're gonna run to for help. So that is why one of the presidential candidates say he gonna make Nigeria a great nation by stopping the importation of things. That is, by making Nigeria by transitioning Nigeria from consumption to production. But away from that, that's not the subject of this video. So when someone borrows you money or lends you money, the person automatically has control over you. Yeah, no doubt, the person automatically has control over you. So this was one of the policies, or should I say, this was one of the policies Thomas Sankara enacted during his own regime. He stopped borrowing from IMF. He stopped it. He did so many things. He also fought the influence of the West. He also fought France's presence in Burkina Faso. He did so many things. But what happened at the end of the day? This young man, the man was killed. Yeah, Thomas Sankara, he was killed. That is to show you the high risk that imposes anyone who tries to question the narrative here in Africa. That is to show you the kinds of thing, how dangerous it can be to stand against the truth always. Yeah, when you say you want to stand against the truth, come on, you are standing tall. You are facing so many challenges. A lot of things is happening, so you're gonna face so many threats. And this is actually what this young man, currently president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, is facing in Burkina Faso. Since taking over the country in 2022, that is 2 years ago, this young man has faced nothing less than 18 assassination attempts. Amidst of all the crisis, insurgency, killings every here and there, so many things happening right in Burkina Faso. Yet people are threatening him. Why are people threatening him? Because those threatening him are feeling the heat of the policies this young man is doing. This man stepped in as the transitional leader of the country, and he decided to follow the footsteps of Thomas Sankara, who, according to Ibrahim Traore, is his mentor. This is someone he has followed his footsteps. So this is why the world or everyone is against this young man. But then there is something the West forget to understand. That is the main reason why Ibrahim Traore seems like an oracle. The West failed to understand that eliminating this young man, number one, eliminating this young man won't be easy. Yeah, it's not an easy task. Ibrahim Traore is not just a president, he's a military president, he's a military leader. He has been in military for so long, and he understands every tactics. Eliminating him won't be easy. Another effect of all these attempts against Ibrahim Traore is that, you see, Ibrahim Traore has destroyed so many things. Like, he has stopped many ways in which France is exploiting from Burkina Faso. He has even went as far as trying to change their official language away from French. The official language of Burkina Faso is French, based on the fact that they were colonized by France. So they have even went as far as trying to change their official language, and stopping them from all the things, all the benefits they have been getting from Burkina Faso, and even went as far as chasing their military, France military, away, from Burkina Faso. So many negative impacts this has caused to France, and I think trying to deal with Ibrahim Traore is not just an easy task. Yeah, it's not just an easy task. But whatever that happens, we pray and wish that God Almighty will keep being with Ibrahim Traore as he has bring out himself, come out to make things work, to make the people of Burkina Faso happy. May God Almighty protect him against the enemies of Burkina Faso and also the enemies of Africa as a whole. May whatever he seeks never lack. His intention towards the people of Burkina Faso shall yield fruit. This is nothing but what we wish Ibrahim Traore. Thank you for watching. I really wish you have subscribed to my channel. Yeah, do me a favor by subscribing to this channel. We are just starting. Just subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thank you, and God bless Africa. Peace out.